Every single person in this world has a story to share. Your story is your superpower, and it's unique to you. In sharing it with the world, you can impact millions of people. If you keep it to yourself, you are doing the world a disservice. This is Dela. I'm the host of Dela's Voice, and I help you share your superpower with the world.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Dela's Voice Sunday live show. As always, it is my blessed opportunity to have this platform where I can bring you information, inspiration, and motivation to change your life for the better. The stories that are told here are stories of real life, and the people who tell them in the hopes of impacting others. It is a great pleasure for me to introduce today's guests to you. Stroke aware, are you? So many people go through struggles and adversities in life, and a lot of time we are totally oblivious to how fast that can happen to us, to how fortunate we are if we have our health, and to bring awareness to stroke, to me, is very important. And the people I'm going to interview today are avid advocates for this awareness. So, ladies and gentlemen, please share this talk with other people, because today's information has the potential to save lives. So we're going to actually go into a little break, and when we come back, I'm going to bring you my great guests. Hey, you guys.
Hey, Dela.
Hey, Dela, how are you?
Welcome.
And thank you so much for having us on and touching on this really important topic we're going to talk about today.
Well, Deborah and Aaron Avila of Stroke TV Foundation, you guys are both survivors, and you guys bring awareness to stroke every single day. You talk about this all the time, and not only that, but you also bring awareness to the caregivers side of the story, and this is so important. And May is Stroke Awareness Month, and you guys are collaborating with a bunch of different organizations to bring even more awareness. I've watched a few episodes of your show, and you are doing such a fantastic job, and it's so important to me to talk about this. So thank you so much for being here. And I want to take this opportunity to please ask our viewers to share this talk with other people, because it is it's really important to know about this stuff. So thank you again for being here. And also our viewers, if you're watching this show right now, if you drop us a line, we'll know you're here. If you don't drop us a line, we won't know you're here. So we can't say hi to you. We'd like to say hi to you.
Don't be a stalker.
Yes, and these fabulous people, they're going to give us so much information today about stroke and what we're looking for and what are some really important things that we can do in our lives to stay healthy and to help each other out. So here we go. Aaron, thank you so much for being here. Deborah, thank you so much for being here. So, Aaron, I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself, Aaron, and then we'll go to Deborah. Ladies are first. Oh no, but we'll go to
that's
Aaron.
okay. This
We'll
was
go to
Aaron's creation, so he can take it away.
Well, yeah, just so you everybody knows, I am Aaron Avila. I am founder and CEO of Stroke TV Foundation. 11 years ago, I survived and sustained a massive brain aneurysm, and then 2 weeks later, while in the coma, I survived a massive stroke. And I'm really, really, really grateful to be here with you, Dela. Thank you for having us on.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. And we'll go to Deborah.
Hi,
Deborah, go ahead and
everybody.
introduce yourself. Yeah.
My name is Deborah Sweazey. I was a nurse for 40 years and retired 8 years ago and found that I really wanted to continue to help people. So for the last 4 years, I've been on network marketing journeys trying to find something that was good for me to help people. And I had a stroke on September 1st. And I started realizing I knew a lot about caring for someone with a stroke, but I didn't understand what they went through. So I went through different groups, tried to find support because I myself, and I always say for a hot minute, went to that dark place. Why me? Why is my life, does it have to change? I cared for people all my life. Why would you do this, God? And I realized everything in our lives sets us up for the next journey of our lives. And when I saw and followed Aaron for a few weeks, I realized this man had this amazing passion. He wore a cowboy hat too. So that was kind of like, ooh, this guy must be fun, right? And we got to talking. And one day he asked me when I had my stroke. And I told him September 1st of 2020. And God works in funny ways because that was his birthday. And being that that was his birthday, we realized that God was talking to both of us. And Aaron was doing this on his own for about 6 years. And he just needed somebody to help push this movement of his forward a little more. And that's when I jumped in with both feet, hands, and said, let's do this, Aaron. Let's help people be awakened to the idea that strokes can be preventable, but also your journey in rebuilding your life, if you do it correctly, can have a different outcome. And that's what we're doing.
This is amazing. You know, you talk about this, and so many of us take this for granted. And I mean, and you're right. I said, what, stroke? No, like that. Oh, I'm never going to get that. That's never going to happen to me. And so many of us say that. And so, you know, I think we are taken off guard. And so it's really, really important to talk about this. And Aaron, I'm not surprised that you took this on as a passion project, and you're trying to bring awareness to this. And I'm not surprised that God brought you together, because obviously you have this mission to accomplish. So I'm so happy for that. I wish I had worn my cowboy hat too, but that would make me a Persian Canadian cowboy.
There you go.
So, Aaron, I want to go back to you and kind of get a sense of why and how you got started on this journey. But let's say hi to some people, shall we? Because they're dropping us some lines, and I'm going to actually mute both of you because I feel like there's an echo. Okay. All right. So comments. Okay, we've got Melissa here. saying good morning all, and Sarah saying hi. Bobak is here saying hi. Pamela's here. Good morning, Bruce. My two favorite people. I don't think he's talking about me. I think he's talking about you. Sharon, Sharon's here. I'm going to be a caregiver for my son, she says. They say he has locked in syndrome. So I'm going to come back to you guys and ask you a little bit of about that. And Bryce says much love. Kelly says good morning. Kelly says love this. God is so mysterious and amazing. Bryce says my firstborn was born September 1st. Ah, see, there's so many. Okay. All right. So any input on any of these comments?
I know pretty much all of them. I want to give a shout out to Melissa, Bruce, Price, Kelly. These really are moving. Stroke TV is a movement of people. It is become a global movement, and it's exciting. Yeah, I'll give you the history when you're ready. I'll tell you why I started it when you're ready.
Go ahead and do that, Aaron.
You know what? I have my brain aneurysm, a stroke at age 47. And you were talking about how your life changes. Talking about cataclysmic change. And I always say, as fast as lightning strikes, I became a stroke survivor. And I remember there was an isolation and darkness, and Deb spoke about this a little bit. There's a darkness that occurs when you wake up. I woke up from then what happened to me. I woke up in the hospital with machines beeping at me and unable to mumble after. I was totally mute in the beginning of my stroke. Probably for about 5 months, I was totally mute. I could say a thing. And I think what really motivated, what gave me the passion, the life-changing experience that I had was not my brain aneurysm, wasn't my stroke. When I died, I had a near-death experience. And that really became my life changer. That was my real life changer. And that's when God gave me my purpose in this life. And I'm telling you, I'm with Deborah when she says there's nothing more. And I know your purpose, Dela, because I watch your material. And that's very inspiring. And we all have a gift. And it's just amazing what has happened. I do that near-death experience a real life-changing thing. And it was the passion of wanting to help people, because I didn't want people to go through what I'm through. I felt so dark, so isolated, and so lonely, even suicidal and bleeding. I didn't want anybody to go through that. So I began this movement. That was my motivation.
I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, Aaron, and waking up, not being able to talk. And that's devastating.
That, Dela, that was probably, my wife was right by my side all the time. And to be able to, I was so scared and so alone and so isolated. But I could tell her, I'm going to get emotional now, but I couldn't tell her I love her. I could tell her I was so scared. People talk about locked-in syndrome. And that is when your stroke takes away all your abilities. You're locked in. I was locked in verbally. I could move my non-paralyzed side, my right side, okay, but I couldn't speak. It's terrible.
So a little bit about the locked-in syndrome. What is that? Can you explain that to us?
Yeah, locked-in syndrome is when basically your your mind, your brain becomes disconnected from your body. And and for me it can be comes as a couple of different ways. And you guys have been with my speech because I have cerebral damage caused by my brain aneurysm, which gave me dysphagia, which is slurred speech. So I will try really hard to speak where you can understand me. But locked-in syndrome is one of the most devastating things a stroke can do to someone. There was a supermodel named Kelly Van Hooven that was 20 someone years old, absolutely dropped dead supermodel gorgeous. In fact, I didn't know what a supermodel was until I saw her. No, oh my gosh, she doesn't need makeup, nothing. She is absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a brainstem stroke. And it caused her to become 99% paralyzed. And that is locked in. You no longer can express who and what you are to your body and brain. You can't be disconnected from your mind from your brain.
Whew. And all this time, so you're not able to do what you used to do before. You're not able to support your family the way you used to do before, and you've lost your speech. That is definitely good, justified reason to go into depression, isn't it?
It is really, really, that is probably the biggest thing. And that's what drives Deborah not to do what we do. We want to encourage people there's hope in life after stroke.
Mm-hmm.
And, in life in general, true in your life, true in my life, doesn't matter stroke or whatever it is. But, it's 90% of what 10% of what happened to us, 90% how we respond. So we respond to those hard times. Like you remember, I was a guy that hunted, fished, dove. I was a certified open water diver. There was nothing I felt 100-foot trees. There was nothing I couldn't do. And then I woke up paralyzed because I haven't able to. I've been in a wheelchair since. I've been in a wheelchair for 11 years. But if there's one thing I want to share with you, all you listeners, don't take what you have for granted. Be grateful. Just take a pause today and just pause and say thank you. Thank you to the universe. Thank you to God, whatever to call him, but just be grateful for the abilities what you have. Because I'm here to tell you, in a blink of an eye, as fast as light strikes, it can be all taken away. And that's what we're here to do is raise stroke awareness.
So good. 90% has to do with your reaction to the situation. You said it, and that's so true, right? It's not just in the face of a stroke. I think it's in the face of any adversity. And so a lot of people who may go through stroke and their life quality is totally different than someone who says, okay, I'm going to see what I can get out of this experience. And that's certainly what you did, Aaron. So here you are, paralyzed with stroke, and you decide you're going to start this movement called Stroke TV. And so at some point, you must have said to yourself, how am I going to bring this message out? I'm slurring. I don't have, the ability. So how do you get over that fear and limiting belief?
I'm glad you asked that question, Dela, because I think the most significant man I met in the beginning of my stroke. You got to remember, I can remember laying up in bed, half paralyzed, unable to move. I'm trying to figure out how I could get my car in the move wheelchair up ramp to my gun closet and just under the dome. But I'm going to tell you, I met a guy. I was watching him. He's a global business celebrity named Jeffrey Hazelland. And I remember watching him on the TV and man, this guy had attitude. He used the word relentless, and he started making me realize I can actually make a difference. And he is a global business celebrity. I'm so grateful. I now call my friend years later, and to have him say, I can actually make a difference. He never once, along with Steve Harvey and with some of the other great men, the forward thinkers, they don't let the situations dictate their life. They dictate their life. They determine in themselves, I'm going to respond this way. I'm going to craft my own life. And I think it really, really, really hit home for me. So I began to realize, thank you to Jeffy's list, I realized I was not a stroke victim. I could actually respond to my stroke differently. And that was spurred on a near-death experience I had. Also, I wanted to help people. I wanted to start this movement to help people so they didn't go through what I'm there through.
I heard from someone that our adversities can become our entire story, or they can become a part of our story. And I think you've made that a little part of your story, but also the beginning of this fantastic mission and passion. I think that's amazing. I think that's really brave. I'm going to come to you, Deborah, but I want to go through some of the comments. And let's see. Lawrence is here. Lawrence says, good morning to my beautiful wife and my friend, Aaron. Thank you, Larry, for the help.
Thank you for calling me a friend, Larry.
Sharon says, my son is 40. Wow.
Who is Sharon?
So Sharon had, I think Sharon had told us that his son is locked-in syndrome, has locked-in syndrome. Sharon Fowler. So she's
Love to talk to her.
Yes, please do that. Tony Walsh is here. Good afternoon. Hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Thank you, Tony. Pamela says good morning. So Lawrence says, I believe that these two people are trying to heal the world.
Oh.
And that you are. Sharon says, is there any hope for locked-in syndrome? And Bruce has a comment, stroke ranch with a heart. So we'll come back to that. I know that means something to you. So we're going to come back to that. But I want to give Deborah a chance to tell her story because so you are a nurse and you've seen all sorts of stuff. And you've seen stroke patients, you've seen all sorts of strokes. And did you at any point, did you think that was coming to you, Deborah?
Absolutely not, Dela, because I was a nurse for so many years, I saw death up close, and I saw how people could change their health very easily by how they live their life, how they handle their emotions, their stress. And I thought I was healthy. I was healthy, but what I was doing is letting some stress get into my life, some business, some family, to the point that my blood pressure was out of control and it stayed high for too long. And that's when on the first I woke up and I felt this numbness on my, it started with on my arm, and I thought I had slept funny. My arm fell asleep. And when I got up a few hours later, it was still there. It was in my face and my lips. And I ended up going to a hospital closest to me. They did CAT scan labs and said it wasn't a stroke, it was anxiety, which I knew I had been going through a lot of stress. So I said, okay, everything looked okay. So I went home, and the next morning I woke up and my leg was affected, along with my whole side worse. And I knew I was having a stroke, and I had been having a stroke. So I went to a different hospital, and that's where I got the immediate care, the stroke protocol. But what's so crazy is I knew how to take care of people. I didn't know how I was going to take care of myself. And I did not want my husband to become a caregiver. He had been a caregiver for a long time before we got married 18 years ago. His first wife passed away from brain cancer, and he was her caregiver until she passed. So I did not want this for him. So I didn't tell him I was going to that dark place. I just kind of went there and jumped online and connected with stroke survivors. And I realized how fast that snapped me out of where I was going, because I saw people worse than me, and I saw people doing amazing things like Aaron. And I realized I was going to tackle this, and whatever God left me, I knew I had my voice, and I could use my voice to promote stroke awareness around the world, but also not just promote it, but I want to, with my nursing background, what Aaron was missing, that's why we connected so well, is the nursing the medical part of it, the education. And I just have such a passion to educate people that it just kind of flew. And we have been together working only 4 months together. And the people we have connected with, and the vision of what we have, and the people we're helping every day is what makes us rise and what makes us not sleep sometimes at night. But Aaron always says, we are not really working. We put in a lot of hours, but it's our passion and our gift. So we don't feel like it's that stress that I used to get from other work. This is not that kind of stress. My numbers are good. I sleep good. I feel good. And the most rewarding thing is when someone messages me and says, thank God I watched your show today because I was thinking about this or that, and I didn't know what the signs were. And the biggest thing I want people to take away from, if you follow us and watch us, there's different signs. And don't go by the generic signs only. Those are good. The same thing with heart attack. But women, our signs to a heart attack are completely different than a man's. So we don't get that heart, chest pains, and we might get different little symptoms like your neck is stiff, your jaw feels funny, and a tingling sensation. So you really need to know your body, be your own advocate, but also have somebody out there that knows you, that if you get into a position like Aaron, thank God he had his beautiful wife Rebecca and his son Ryan, because they knew him. They could answer for him. But there's a lot of people that are alone in the world. And if that happens to them, who's there? And that's another thing that Aaron and I want to tackle. It's our dream, besides I'll let him tell you about this ranch, but my dream is to have some sort of an advocacy group that can volunteer, and someday we'll be able to pay them, but volunteer time to be an advocate to those that need one. Somebody in your community has a stroke and they're alone, please go sit with them. Please go hold their hand. Please go explain to them what's happening to them, because only a stroke survivor is really going to get it. The doctors can tell you you're not going to be fine maybe when you're going to. We have a beautiful friend, like he was telling us about, beautiful Katie Vanderhoeven, who's a supermodel. She still models, and she's all over the world speaking about being locked in. And she only speaks with her eyes. She uses her eyes to point to letters that used to be on a board. Now her husband knows where the letters are, and that's how she communicates to him to get her message out. But we also have another beautiful friend who was locked in. She'll be on our show on the 20th. And she's going to talk about how she got out of locked-in syndrome. She started by moving a pinky. So if the doctors tell your family or you that you're not going to come out of it, doctors only know so much. Your body
Yes.
and our bodies are so different. So
Yes.
you be your own advocate. You be that warrior. You be that fighter. And you'll know how far you're going to go. Only you're going to know.
Mm. How the power that comes from wanting. How do you see that, Deborah? Do you have some miracle stories? I mean, other than Aaron and yours. I mean, I think Aaron is a miracle story.
He
Uh,
is.
you know, with what he's doing with Stroke TV, and you, Deborah, too. But do you have some of the people you've talked to during this time? What are some miracle stories? I want to bring some
Oh,
hope to Sharon here.
oh my gosh. Besides the two stories of the locked in that I told you about, and both of these women are very successful right now. These women are both doing things that they didn't think they would do. So besides them, we have guests coming on that are survivors. And we started with just stroke survivors. And Aaron said, I want to open this up to all survivors because they all have the same darkness they go to. They all have the same mountains to climb. So we have people that are survivors of burns and they're out there just doing amazing things with their life. We have survivors of brain cancer that have told they were not going to survive and she's going to be on our show. She's from the UK and this young lady is now the biggest motivational speaker over there, and she brings hope to those who have childhood cancer because that's what she had. We have another guest coming on at the end of the month, and she is a survivor of cerebral palsy. She has always had cerebral palsy, but she models. But she also has her own talk show, even though she cannot speak and she's totally dependent in a wheelchair. She uses an electrical device that she can look into and it speaks for her. And she interviews people like models and stars and movie stars. She actually interviewed Sonny from General Hospital last week, and Sonny was talking about his journey with mental illness, and she's bringing awareness to people like that. And then we have another gentleman, oh my God, Dan, who he does racing with bikes, these pedal bikes, and he goes all around the world and talks about you can get out there and still compete. And the last one I'll tell you about, because I could go on forever, we have the most incredible followers and supporters, but she is which stroke can hit at any time, and this young lady, it was at 7 years old. She didn't know, her parents didn't know, she was normal till 7, and they found out she had an aneurysm in her brain that ruptured at 7. And she now has just found out she was accepted into the Paralympics as a fencer. She goes and fences for the Olympics. And then we have another Olympian who runs marathons who had a traumatic brain injury. So, yes, stories, we have them galore. That's why
Wow.
we do what we do, because we're bringing you these stories that you don't have to curl up. You just need to get up.
Yes, yes, and that and so much more on Stroke TV. You guys, if you're looking for hope, if you're looking for inspiration, if you're looking for information and knowledge, this is where you'll get it, is firsthand through the stories of people who have gone through them. And so you want to follow these guys on their programming. We're going to be right back, you guys. So we're just going to take a quick break and watch this from the sponsors for this show. Thank you so much. Again, we'll be right back. And we're back with Deborah Sweazey and Aaron Avila of Stroke TV, and the amazing work you guys do all the time. So we have a few more comments, and we're going to continue this amazing talk. So Kelly says, gosh, you're lucky. So glad you were able to get to another hospital. I think that was about your story, Deborah. And Kelly says, yes, bringing hope and education and empowering the survivors and caregivers. I apologize. I'm going to mute the other two mics while I speak, so there's no feedback, and then I'll turn you back on. Sharon says, thank you for encouraging words. Melissa says, it has to be us survivors who builds the team, because after all, like you said, Deborah, who knows better than the survivors themselves? Alan Wade is here. Hi, Alan. And he says, hello, Dela. I see you have two amazing people on your show. And then Brenda's here saying, hello, Deb. All these amazing comments for you guys, and it's because of the work you do. And so congratulations on impacting the world around you so much and talking about topics that are really, really important to talk about. So Stroke Ranch, what is that all about? Who wants to talk on that?
The squeeze doesn't echo now.
Try putting your buds in.
Anyway, but I wanted to say, Dela, if I have to say one thing, and this is true, I've watched several of your shows, and that empowering of everybody else's story you say. And I don't care if your struggle or for trauma in life, a stroke, abuse, whatever it may be. It's how you respond. It is not what happened to you. If there's anything I want to say and make real clear to you, to your audience, that everything bad in your life that's happened to you does not make you who you are. It's how you respond. And when you respond, you have that trouble. Like I had a stroke, and Dela asked me what kind of makes me start what I'm doing. I know it feels that bad, but the key is gratefulness. Gratefulness is the key for miracles in your life. If you want to experience miracles in your life, have a grateful heart. What makes you, Dela, what makes that people are different than why are we stroke survivors standing out amongst millions? Because there's over 80 million stroke survivors in the world. What makes it different? We're grateful. We're grateful for being alive. Yeah, I messed up. I'm half paralyzed. I've been in a wheelchair. I have a speech deficit, but I'm grateful I'm alive. I'm grateful to see my wife and my son. So I'm just saying, switch your attitude, be grateful. Watch out.
Gratitude attitude.
Yeah.
Attitude, love it.
Yes, absolutely. You know what, you guys, when I started implementing gratitude attitude in my own life, things started happening for me. So I totally believe in the miracle of being grateful. And a lot of times we feel like we have to dig deep to find what we're grateful for. But the truth is there's so much around us that we can be grateful for. So definitely. And I love that, because someone would be like, okay, I just had a stroke. What am I grateful for?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so it is your response to the situation. Absolutely. Yeah. So, okay. So I do have a question here. Why do you ever, and I'm sure at some point you must have asked yourself, why me? Like a lot of people do. a lot of different situations and a lot of different, in the face of a lot of different adversities, we ask that question, why me? God, I'm a good person. Why me? And so do you have an answer for yourself,
I
Aaron? Why?
do.
Yeah, you do, Deborah. Okay, tell us.
Yeah, because that was the first place my brain went. And I had been single mama for many years. Horrible first marriage, got beautiful kids out of it. I was 46 before I met my amazing husband, who, because of him, I was able to retire from nursing. And who knows, I might have still had to work, but things were just starting to get wonderful in my life. And that's where I went, was why me? And real quick, my answer to that was, why not me? Why not me? Who am I? I'm just another human being here on earth that something was thrown at, but there's something in it for me, and I need to figure out what. And that's another thing we do, Della, is we bring a lot of people to the platform to bring us people like Alan Wade, our friend here, and him and his beautiful partner, Cindy. They came on to our show and they gave so much hope and motivation about being present in this present, because today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Be present in it and find the present in it, which Kelly always says. And Kelly is an amazing, beautiful friend of mine, who, and Aaron's now, who was on our show, and she's going to be having a weekly show. She just told us last night the great news. She's going to be on do her own show. And she always says, find the present in the present. And there is a present in everything that's given to us. And we need to work through and be sad, stay there and cry, but don't live there. Don't unpack your suitcase there. Just go visit. Visit that sad, lonely, scary place. Don't live there. Because, first of all, don't stay alone, because you need to connect with people. I've talked with so many amazing stroke survivors out here who live alone, and our show is giving them something to wake up to and watch every day. And if that's all we're doing for that person, that's good. So that's my answer, is why not me?
That's wonderful. Why not me? I like that. I like that. Why not me, as opposed to why me? I totally believe that everything happens to us for a reason. I am a true believer in that everything happens to me for a reason, for me. Actually, everything happens for me. And so as we go through a struggle in our lives, and as much as we would like to feel like a victim, because that's naturally we go there, to take a moment and think, okay, there's a reason for this. What lesson am I to take from this? And then going back years after, you can see clearly that had that not happened for you, you would not be in the place you are today. So I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to go to Aaron and get his take on this. Okay.
Yeah, I just hang up. Thank you. I'm sorry for the echo, and I'm sorry I didn't have earbuds. They weren't working. But, so many times there are different ways that people deal with things. And I would say the majority of stroke supporters, and I have a support group of stroke survivors, over 3,500 people, big. And I would say the majority, they curl up, they basically give in to what stroke is done to them. Strokers has become the identifier as who they are. And it's not true. It's how they respond. So what makes stroke so, I think, so difficult to comprehend is it isolates a person, takes all your abilities away. But we're running out of time, so but I want to raise a lot of stroke awareness. I am saying to each and every one of you out there, Listen to your body. That thing, you got that headache that won't disappear. You got that dizziness that's not like you. Your body will tell you something is wrong. Before my aneurysm exploded in my brain, and every stroke survivor I know has some inkling inside the body telling them that there was something wrong. But the majority of people ignore it. They shake it out, breast up. Well, I'm okay. Nothing's gonna happen to me. Dela said it herself. Nothing's gonna happen to me. I'm fine. Well, that's not true. You're susceptible to stroke. In fact, 1 out of every 4 people will have a stroke. There are over 80 million stroke survivors in the world today. Stroke is so common in the U.S. Someone has stroke every 40 seconds, Dela. 40 seconds. Amazing. So what I wanted to also touch on, you saw that comment you made mention of called the ranch. I have had a vision dream, but part of my imagination is to build a place called the Stroke Survivor Miracle Ranch, where not just the stroke survivor, but the other types of stroke survivors, the family, the friends, the spouse can go to the ranch. And we will train them to be and teach them how to be as independent as possible. I myself benefited from the Stroke Survivor America Ranch. And as that equine therapy is one of the biggest things. So what's our vision? We want to build a place called the Stroke Survivor America Ranch.
Thank you, Aaron. So that sounds like a haven for stroke survivors and their family, a place where they can find the support, they can find the education, they can find the care, right? I mean, what a great place that would be. So what is it you need from people? What is it you want from the viewers? How can they help? I'm gonna go to Deborah. And someone said, Dela, when you mute everybody but the person who speaks, the sound is much better. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna mute myself and go to Deborah.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And before I tell you what you guys can do to help and support us, I want to make a point of remembering when Aaron was saying, pay attention to your body and the symptoms, but also on top of that, tell someone. My husband laughs at me till he finally understands it all. Even before my stroke, I would say things like, I don't feel right today, honey. I woke up and dizzy and my throat hurts, and I being a nurse, he thought I'm a hypochondriac a little bit, too much. But just tell someone, I woke up, I don't feel right. That way, if something happens, you have a timeline. Someone can say, well, this is how it started, because you may not be able to tell anybody how it started. Be also aware that you want information left, especially if you live alone and you don't have someone, left somewhere in your wallet, in your car, in your glove compartment, where they can find your history, what meds you're on. Because time is life, and you don't want them to go looking around trying to find where you live, what closest hospital to try to get your information. Time really is life, and it's brain cells. And so that's on that. But also, what people can do is, for one, I ask everybody on here to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. That's number one. Because once we get to a certain amount of viewers, then we can start monetizing and doing commercials. That will help us. Because Aaron and I want to build so much to give back. It's about that person, that neighbor you may have. And maybe that neighbor doesn't have insurance that can get them back and forth to therapy. They don't have a vehicle. We want to pay for that car for a year, get you back and forth. So anybody that wants to sponsor us, wants to donate to us, we are open to that. We'd love to talk to you. But also, if there's a show that touches you, just share it. Tell your friends about us. Just tell them that we're here. Sometimes just knowing that we're here could change a life, and it could prevent someone from having that situation that they're going through. They may not have to go through it.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you so much. Yes. You know, when you speak like a true healthcare professional, someone who is, you know, this is perfect. It's a perfect list. And it's so important because of the things you're saying. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, so many days I'll just wake up and if I have a headache, I'll just brush it off. Oh, it's nothing. But and a lot of us do that, and we take Advil or whatever just to get rid of it. But just to be aware of what is going on, to give yourself a chance to be present, to really listen to your body. That's personal responsibility that we all need to take for our own health and well-being. I'm going to share something with you. And a lot of times I've, you know, we might think that taking care of ourselves, that self-care is selfish. And so what we don't realize is that by taking care of ourselves, we're actually showing our loved ones that we love them, that we, you know, that to me was a lesson that I had to learn. For, you know, so it's not always obvious. I'm going to come back to you, Aaron, and I want to ask you, what's your message to people who are listening, and how could they help?
Well, I think probably one of the most, I mean, we're starting to raise funds. So if you can go to www.stroketv.org, click on the More tab, click on Donate Now. And if you can support $5, great. You can afford $10, great. We're committed to helping stroke survivors around the world. And if there's one thing that I could tell each and every one of you, you are here on this earth to make an impact. It took me a stroke to wake me up, to waken me. And I mean, what Dela does here with this program, what we do with Stroke TV, what many others do around the world, inspire, we're all part of this earth. We're all here for a reason. I believe that each one of you have a gift. You have a gift that God gave you, and when you were born, you just need to find it. Not going to give you a secret to finding it. Your gift can be identified. It's the absolute best thing you do in your life with the least amount of effort. I mean, to repeat that one more time, it's that your gift is the best thing, absolute best thing you do in life with the least amount of effort. That's how you can know what your gift is. So, Dela, I know we're running out of time. I wanted to thank you for having us here. I wanted to thank you for having such a program, and be aware that you are here to make a difference, not just to go through life, but to make a difference with us, with Dela, with Deborah, with me.
Thank you, Aaron. You guys are awesome. I'm going to read some of the comments and see. Sorry, I just muted you. Okay. All right. So let's see. Marianne is here. Marianne Pageant is here, and she says, hi, love you. Bryce says, I think finding others like me really helped me avoid the dark side. So just a quick comment on that, is that when we share our stories, I feel like that's such a powerful way of not healing ourselves, but also helping other people, seeing hope, seeing light, seeing that they're not alone. And I think it's the same with any story. And it doesn't have to be just stroke, but like you said, any story. we share, we care. I think that's how I see it. Melissa says about not camping out there. Going back to right, not camping out there. Marianne says, Della, Deborah, and Aaron, great show. Thank you. And let's see. Also Marianne says 3 fabulous people. Thank you. Melissa says self-care saves lives. Okay, so I'm going to come back to you. We still have a few minutes, and you can comment on that. Lawrence says, don't forget, listen to your body. It will tell you what to do. This Lawrence guy, he's really wise, I think. What do you think, Deborah? I like of that comment, self-care saves lives.
Absolutely. And it's so true. You know, we have to love ourselves first before we can give back. And, you know, like my husband just said, you know, listen to your body. And what's so funny is a lot of people think that they're invincible. And I thought I was invincible, but it happened to me. And I'm making the best of it. There's days where my passion is cooking. I'm Italian, so I love to cook. And my hand still falls asleep and it's numb. My fingers, I can't feel them sometimes. So I'm dropping things in the kitchen. And you'll hear a little cuss word fly, and my husband goes, "You need help?" I got it. I got to figure out, I'm going to make myself use my left hand. And I just keep plucking along. There's things I can't do. It doesn't matter because there's still so much I can do. And that's what's so important is know and find what you can't. Like Aaron says all the time, you know, it's like when you find what is your gift, then it's the least thing you're working. It's a passion. It's not really work. And what's so funny is for 4 years on Facebook, I was doing some businesses, and I thought that's what I was supposed to do to give back is help people. When I found Aaron and I found this after my stroke, that's when I found my gift. And my gift, I found out, is connecting people. Who knew? I'm a connector. And Della, that's what I love, is that's how I met you. Beautiful, amazing friend of ours, Robert J. Moore. He introduced me. He says, you need to talk to her. You need to be on our show. And we've been talking for a while. It just never was the right time. And the people that Robert has connected with me, and those connections, guys, is support each other, share each other, talk about each other. That's how you get by in life, is you can't do it alone. There's shows that Della you did that you don't even know. I've connected friends. The one lady you had that did a holistic
Falguni.
healing. Not Falguni. We had Falguni on. You connected me with her. I met her on your show. But there was another lady talking about functional medicine. And I can remember on there, and I said, I'm going to connect her with my friend Dory that does functional medicine. She's our autoimmune geek on Stroke TV. And now they're doing a show together. So just by you and I being introduced, yes, we've put so many people together. So just share, you know, follow Della. Her shows are incredible, guys. And I cannot thank you enough for having us on. And we want to have you on our show soon.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to come and just tell you my story and eat your ears off. And you'd want to
love
pick me off. And the power of collaboration. I think this is, again, something I want to call it a COVID blessing for me, because I never quite knew how to collaborate before all of this. And so I think you're so right, Deborah. The power is in the numbers. And so when we collaborate together and we have common goals of helping each other, the sky is the limit. I'm so fortunate to have met you guys. I'm so grateful for everything you do. You're both very inspiring. I want to ask Aaron for a couple of, just give us some last words finish us off, and then we'll be out of here.
Are you talking about putting me on the spot? I'll tell you what. The only thing I want to say, we're in this life all together. We as a community in the world. And Dela's Voice, Stroke TV are just parts of it. You yourself are part of it. I'm saying to look inside yourself because it's inside you too, to make a difference. And I want to thank you, Dela, for having us on. Thank you so much. And I see we're 1 minute over, and I appreciate your time, Dela. Thank you.
Thank you so much, you guys. When you said that, that just reminded me. I want to show you this because I have this displayed by my computer always. Get over yourself. It's not about you. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. And for everyone who's watched us today, I want to thank you also for giving us your time. Please share this talk with other people. Let them see what's out there, what's available, what support is there, where they can get information, where they can get the support they need. You just never know. You might just make that difference between someone's life and death. And just by sharing this talk, they may have heard this information 1,000 times, but this could be the one time they actually hear it. And so please be generous in sharing this knowledge with other people. I want to thank you both from the bottom of my heart, Deborah and Aaron, for coming on today and sponsoring this show and lighting the world like the torch you are, to light up the path for other people who may walk better. So, and for the rest of the people who have watched us today, thank you again for being here. Truly, truly, truly appreciate your time and making this world a better place, one step at a time. Once again, this is Dela's Voice, sparking your soul. Till next time. Bye-bye, everybody.